Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I've got 5 packs again for today. Let's go ahead and separate them out for WUBRG. I think that works pretty cool. 5 different packs. We've got Gideon, Jace, Liliana, Chandra, and Nissa. We'll open them up in that order. Set this down here. I hope you enjoyed the previous video. I thought that was amazing that we got the 5 different basic lands out of those 5 packs. I don't know what the odds are of that, but it seemed pretty cool. Alright. Caustic Caterpillar, I love that card. Fun, and it's decent in Limited, but it also is just a fun card in general. Heavy Infantry, sorry. Let's see, Prickle Boar. As long as your turn, it gets +2/+0 and first strike. Reeve Soul, Red Waters, Rocks Maulers, Brawler's Plate. We actually got an uncommon artifact. Nice. Here's where we'll put artifacts, and here's where we'll put lands, maybe tokens right here in multicolor. Totem, we've got a foil in this. Totem Guide Heartbeast. Nice card. Jeshian Thief. Jessian? Hessian? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Anyway, 3 mana for 1/3 Prowess. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. It's the latest incarnation of that ability of a 3 mana creature that deals damage. Has 1/3 power and toughness. It's a good card though, because any kind of card draw with that effect is cool. And in blue, it's unusual, but it's nice. It kind of gives blue a little bit more combat tricks. And we have Demonic Pact. 4 mana, enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose one that has not been chosen. And by that they mean you can have it deal 4 damage to target creature or player and gain 4 life. Or you can have target opponent discard 2 cards, or you can draw 2 cards, or you lose the game. And you have to do them in that order. Now, the neat thing is you can sacrifice this to a lot of different effects. You can put it on top of your library, return it to your hand with some permanent removal type of cards in blue, or even white, or even green. Caustic Caterpillar. Kill it. Why not? You got the mana. So... It's an interesting effect, and it only occurs during your upkeep. So, but think of it this way. The 4 mana, you deal 4 damage to target creature player, and you gain 4 life. That makes sense. 4 mana where target opponent discards 2 cards. Kind of makes sense. 4 mana where you draw 2 cards and don't lose any life. Kind of makes sense. If you did all 3 of those for the 4 mana, that's pretty good. So this is like a different take on charm effects. And I think it's a pretty decent card in a deck that specializes in using it. So, yeah, there's something to this. And there's a possibility that you can just give this to your opponent through some means. Goblin or Bizarre Trader. Oh, gosh. There was a card in original Zendikar block where you just paid 1/1 red. It was a 1 red creature, and then it was tap, and you have target opponent gain control of a permanent you control. So you use this 3 times, and then you tap it and give it to your opponent. They have to choose to lose the game. That's a thing. So yeah, we'll think about that card. And then we have a Ringwarden Owl foil. Neat. That's pretty cool. We'll set this over here to be underneath the multicolor cards. And we have a flip card for our Planeswalker that we don't have yet. Put it with tokens. And here's our Elf Warrior token. I finally got one of these. Nice. I like it. It's a Lorwyn elf. All right, let's keep going. Let's try and fill the board as much as we can. That was only our first pack. I already spent 3 minutes and 50 some odd seconds talking about it. So let's see if we can go a little bit faster. Reclaim. That's a good card. Veteran's Sidearm. Firefield Elemental. Undead Servant. Sigil of Valor. When a creature attacks alone, it gets +1/+1 till end of turn for each other creature you control. That's amazing. That's exalted. In a token type of production deck, that's a really, really good card because you can use one creature that you're really attacking with, and it just pumps up for all your other token creatures. That's really cool. That's a decent card. Exalted Archangel, the one that gives all of your other creatures Exalted 1. Same effect, essentially, but this is an uncommon for 2 colorless mana and 1 mana to equip. Good card. Extremely good card. I would play this in Purphoros, where I'm putting out all those tokens and I usually only attack with 1 or 2 creatures. Next card, Gnarlroot Trapper. Black mana production card. Kind of like Elves of Deep Shadow, but it can only be used to cast elf creature spells. And then it can give a target elf you control, target attacking elf you control, Death Touch. Pretty neat. Sigil Starfish. And, Our rare is Thopter Spy Network. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control an artifact, put a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature with flying into battlefield. Whenever one or more artifact creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. Decent. Now, it doesn't quite work the same way where you're not drawing for each of those artifact creatures. It's just 1-for-1 type of an effect. Alright, and our foil is Acolyte of the Inferno with a renown and able to kill off blocking creatures. Decent card. We'll put it with our other foils. 2 foils in this pack. Very interesting. We have our land. And we have Thopter token. Nice. Now for the Liliana pack. I really want to fill out this board, so we need to get an uncommon red. Well, it's not likely we're going to get one of each color for rares or mythic rares, but you know, it's still fun. We could almost count these. This is a rare type of an effect, but we'll see. Enlightened Ascetic, Firefield Elemental, Rabid Bloodsucker, Scapskin Drake, Irosis Champion. Cool, we've got that spot for the multicolor cards. I like this card. 3 mana for 2/2 double strike in the perfect colors to play it because of all the pump effects, all the anthem type effects. Chief of the Foundry, nice. Other artifact creatures you control get +1/+1. Very nice. And then Thunderclap Wyvern, Flash, and other creatures you control with flying gets +1/+1. Works very well with Thopters. And our rare card is Gideon's Phalanx. Put 4 2/2 white knight creature tokens with vigilance onto the battlefield. As an instant effect for 7 mana, you can do this at the end of your opponent's turn. Then, if you have Spell Mastery, creatures you control gain indestructible. So, if your opponent's attacking and you have the 7 mana and perhaps Spell Mastery, put it out, you have 4 creatures to block with. That's 8 potential damage to deal to an attacker, and all your creatures have indestructible, so they're not going to die from it. Definitely a decent effect, and we're filling out the board very nicely. Next, our second land. Here's a Plains. Is that right? We didn't get a land card. I guess that took the place of the foil or something. No, that can't be right. Huh. Not sure what happened to that other land card. Oh well. Keep going. What did I do with that land? Auramancer. Those are. Try to keep this as level as I can as we go along. Wave of the Underworld, Infectious Bloodlust, Enshrouding Mists, Might of the Masses, excellent with all the token production that we're going to have, and Battle for Zendikar will probably have more. Screeching Scab, Basswood Gorger, Disperse, Guardian Automaton. When it dies, you gain 3 life. It's not quite an Onulet effect, but it's not too bad. 4 mana for 3/3, you can put it into any color combination in limited, so that's pretty good. And Fiery Impulse, Angel's Tomb. I like this card. Reprint from Innistrad block. Turn to Frog, J.M. Tome, and our rare is Priest of the Bloodrite. Interesting. Priest of the Bloodrite enters the battlefield. Put a 5/5 black demon creature token with flying onto the battlefield. So 5 mana for 2/2, and you immediately get a 5/5 flying black demon token. Then at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 2 life. Now this works really, really nicely with Conjurer's Closet, because you could be swapping this out every turn, putting out another 5/5 demon. It works with nicely with sacrifice effects, because you could just sacrifice it, you get to keep your demon token. It's actually a decent card. You get 2 cards for 5 mana. That's pretty good. And our forest was our basic land. I wonder what I did with that. Oh, that's what it was. That was what we lost our land card to, which isn't so bad. There's another one of those flip cards. And our last pack with Nissa on it. We've gotten 2 foils and 4 rares so far. That's pretty darn good. And they're decent foils. Pretty anyway. Demolish, Aven Battle Priest, Eyeblight Assassin, Stratus Walk, Faraka's Disciple, Bonded Construct, Prickleboard. Bonded Construct works very nicely with Ornithopter and Springleaf Drum while they're still playable, because you can put 1 out, play the Springleaf Drum, tap the Ornithopter, put out the Bonded Construct, put out any other type of creature, or just cast the Bonded Construct with the Ornithopter. Next turn you can attack with both of them, and that's decent. Pricklebore, Reeve Soul, Fairy Miscreant, Llanowar Empath, Cruel Revival. Destroy target non-zombie creature. It can't be destroyed. It can't be regenerated. Return up to 1 target zombie card from your graveyard to your hand. Zombie tribal card is pretty good. Rune Servitor. Rune Servitor was in this? I guess so. It's a decent card. It's from original Zendikar block. Oh, Rise of the Eldrazi, I think. I think that's where it's from. 2/2 for 2, but when it dies, each player draws a card. Pretty good, though. This would go in a colorless deck with Ghostfire Blade, because you could just pump it up, make it a 4/4 creature, and start swinging out immediately. Let's see. Undercity Troll. Let's see. Renowned, 2/2 creature for 2, but it becomes a 3/3 with Renown, and then you can pay 3 mana to regenerate it. Decent. We've filled out the board quite a bit in this video. That's pretty neat. We didn't get it full, but it's still pretty good. We got 2 foils. I can't really complain. Alright, and our rare is Graveblade Marauder. 3 mana for 1/4 with Death Touch. Whenever Graveblade Marauder deals combat damage to a player, that player loses life equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Very interesting. You could play this in Self-Mill. This would be possibly a way to kill your opponent in Commander, because you can give it double strike with an effect, and it hits them once, and they lose life equal to the number of creatures in your graveyard, then hits them again, and they lose the life again. This is an interesting effect. I want to see what comes up with this card. Alright, Island. We didn't get a mountain, but decent 5 packs, I think. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you saw some interesting combos along the way. Maybe you have a favorite card among these mixed. Feel free to comment about that, or tell me what kind of combinations I had in this. Maybe I didn't see them. And yeah, again, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're having a wonderful morning, a wonderful afternoon, or a wonderful evening, and I hope tomorrow is even better. Take care, everybody.